brick and artillery together. Good morning, good afternoon, and yes, good evening, Skull Army and friends. It's your boy, your friendly neighborhood SkullCrusher, coming right back at you with another Boom Beach video. In today's video, day 1 of season premiere, Warships season 42, so much fun, and I am 1 account in gold already. Again, compliments of brick and artillery. I swear, together they work like peanut butter and jelly. You name it, you fit the analogy together, it's getting it done. Just absolutely savage. Of course, we're going to dive onto the tech tree here for just a quick moment here. I do want to point out some of the stars of this meta here. Of course, the max level heavies are a big part. Why? Because they are the troop that is dominating this meta here. As we do continue, I do want to point out that, of course, artillery, max artillery is realistically where you want to be, but a tick 4 artillery will be just as good. With 50% building health at tick 4 artillery, I believe it is about 7 or 8 artillery. Of course, if you are max, it's a little bit less. And of course, if you are dealing with players that do have minimal building health, then it does come in handy. If there's no building health at all, which of course everybody does have at this point, though, it is 5 tick 4 artillery to take out an engine room. And then of course, I also do want to point out Brick has been a key asset to this hit. She is incredibly versatile, whether you're using her cluster buster, whether you're using her battle orders, even Iron Will coming in handy. I have been finding myself literally using all 3 of Brick's abilities on these offensive attacks. She is incredibly versatile. If you do not have Brick, I highly recommend you get her. Regardless, you have to pick her up because she is on the main path going to 4, but she is an incredible asset to be using. And of course, some other things that you should be considering is your flare. Tick 3, at least at a minimum. Tick 4 will give you that reassurance of not having to reflare, and of course that does chew up a little bit more gunboat energy when you are constantly having to reflare. Troop damage at 50% is a must as well, and of course we did kind of slide by the troop health there, but TH at 50% is also going to be needed. Now again, we'll show a quick glance of the tech tree here. I would not recommend maxing out your rifleman. I feel like that was a little bit of a mistake on my part there. We could have had more tokens to put into maxing our artillery, you know, some more defenses, whatever it may be here. Cryo tank is probably next on my list here, so we can make our way to shocks. But yeah, other than that, I definitely would recommend you consider max level heavies, 50% troop health, artillery tick 4 at a minimum, building health at 50%, brick at a tick 3 minimum, flare at a tick 3 minimum, and of course your troop damage at least 50%. And of course, making our way over to that local leaderboard, we are currently 6th, right above Code Chicken. I do want to give a shout out to Chicken. Absolutely killed it for season start with his account. I think it was gold literally within like the first 30 minutes of the season here, but none the less here. And of course, SkullCrusher, we're going to be giving that account a little bit of love later on. 26th local. I'm still about 2 chests away from artillery on that account. I did end up picking up the laser tanks, which I think was a mistake. I should have got the artillery, and I would have easily pushed SkullCrusher into gold as well. But I'm kind of stuck for another 7 hours until I get that next chest, until I can get that artillery. I might try to push without the artillery, but again, if you do have artillery and brick, it is just it's incredibly easy to get this done here. And of course, on global as well, let's see where we are situated. Awesome, 257 with Captain Borealis on the global leaderboard. Going into my log as well, leading up to rank 16 there, you can see that we had a pretty little dirty losing streak there of 3 losses before we kind of jumped into those 7 wins there. And of course, as soon as we started off against Average Joe, that's when we had brick to unlock. I did already have artillery. I picked it up early with Captain Borealis on my stream this morning, so it was just a matter of getting brick. We got brick, and this is pretty much where the brick push started. So we're going to start things off here here against Average Joe. Average Joe's 313 to 305. So on this layout here, you can see we pretty much went full heavy drop on the mid to right side of the ramp there, and it's just a matter of letting our heavies kind of free clear. You can notice that there's artillery coming out at the top left of your screen, clearing shock mines that are in our path here. Now, after clearing that first engine room and using the artillery to clear necessary shock mines, it's just a matter of aggressively flaring the engine rooms with the assistance of any leftover artillery on that final ER right there. Our next battle here was 304 to 303. Again, 1 second win. You give it thy 1 second, you take it thy 1 second. So I took it and run, Skull Army. A beautiful 1 second win here. And again, as you can see, something very similar. We started off with a full drop in the middle of the ramp there. Multiple artilleries coming out, clearing shock mines in our path, and just letting the horde of heavies and brick with the assistance of battle orders just clear those front defenses leading up to that first engine room, accumulating that gunboat energy along the way, so that's so we can have enough to fire off that second battle orders, flaring to that second engine room. And remember, we started things off with all that artillery to clear the mines in our path to kind of make that transition flawless from ER to ER. Brick does go down, and after that we have got I believe our Korean friend over here. This was 310 to 256 here. So on this one here, you're going to notice that we kind of did a full drop with Brick on the far left side of the ramp there. We did a ground flare, keeping it super tight along the left side wall of the deck layout here, and then we followed up after that flare was about to expire to the top left engine room. This time you can see Iron Will coming into effect here. This was an incredibly dirty base. There was no shock mines, but seeing how compact it was with all the mines and all that nasty splash damage, I thought Iron Will was just the perfect hero ability to use. Iron Will definitely came in clutch on that one right there. Now we've got No Soul on this one, Skull Army. This was a beautiful 320 to 318. No Soul was incredibly fast. I'm sure No Soul probably thought he won that with a 318, but we were 2 seconds faster. Again, Brick and artillery getting it done. Again, look at this layout. You look at this layout and you instantly know that it's an artillery player. But you can see we started things off with, you know, a direct flare on the engine room there, utilizing some of our artillery to clear those mines that are going to be in our path. Now, there's multiple shock mines. There's no way I was going to have enough artillery to clear them all, but I wanted to make the transitions as easy as possible. And as you can see, we kept that momentum going forward with a little bit of GBE left over to use an artillery on that final Hail Mary as well. Big shout out to No Soul on that one. And then we've got Santee over here. This is 305 to 259. This one I was a little bit scared for because, you know, it's one of those spread bases with all the mines, and we've got the splash damage and the single shot evenly spread pretty much throughout most of the 3 ER layout here. But this one was lower on the building health, so you're going to notice that there's actually artillery coming out, going for that top left engine room. I believe it was 30% BH, and I think that was 6 artillery, 6 tick 4 artillery to take out that engine room. And then we just follow things off with an aggressive Hail Mary flare, a little bit of gunboat energy left over with battle orders. Brick does go down, but we were still able to finish the layout. And of course, as we continue past Santee here, we have got our 3-leaf clover here. This was 259 to 257, 2 second win, Skull Army. Again, bases already starting to get incredibly dirty here. You're going to notice the artillery coming out here. Multiple shock mines here. I'm trying to do, you know, as efficiently as I can, clearing these shock mines with the artillery. Why? Because, you know, there's no shock mines to stop the momentum of my heavies moving forward with the assistance of battle orders. And as you can see right here, this was just farming defense, clearing the shock mines with artillery, activating battle orders, and there was no need to actually aggressively flare here. We just kind of let the troops take a natural path, and we had a really good split of the heavies going to the top left and top right engine room. Of course, leading up to the boss fight to gold, this was against Thiege right here. Thiege did fizzle as well, so you know what? First attempt for boss fight gold rank 16. Not only were we successful, but our opponent did fizzle as well. GG to Thiege here. This one made me a little bit nervous because I'm like, okay, there's not much, but it's compact and it's pushed right to the back here. So pretty much similar to the last one you saw. Multiple artilleries coming out for the purpose of clearing those shock mines here. I think we've got battle orders as well. I think battle orders was the MVP here. I don't want to count out cluster grenade, even though you didn't see any cluster buster replays here. Cluster buster is an incredibly effective hero ability as well, and this was just a matter of clearing the necessary defenses with aggressively activating battle orders with that final Hail Mary and just letting the magic work. And that is Brick and artillery coming together just to make this happen. And again, it's just such a beautiful pairing. And just like that, Skull Army and friends, we were successfully able to hit gold rank with my Captain Borealis account. As you can see, currently 261 on global leaderboard, and we are still holding on 6th on the local Canadian leaderboard. If you have made it this far into the video, Skull Army, please do not forget to leave a like. Does mean the absolute world to me, does help the channel grow, and of course, yes, it does appease our YouTube algorithm overlords. Do not forget to leave a comment as well. Let me know your initial thoughts of the start of season 42. So much fun. With that being said, Skull Army, we will officially be wrapping up today's video. Now I think it's time to make like a Tom and cruise. We'll catch you guys on the next stream. Peace.